Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everyone. My name is Richard Affolter, and I'm the director of WEBA. It's very nice to welcome so many familiar face, familiar agent that I know since many, many years. It's great to welcome here today Mr. Konstantinos Dimitriadis from the University of Sunderland, and as well Robin Griffith, who is the colleague of Costas, and they are both working at the University of Sunderland and will explain you how to enroll students at the University of Sunderland and all the advantage. So I can see that some more people join us. Thank you very much again for the one that just joined us now. Now, the workshop will start in 1 minute. I presume the majority of you know already WEBA since a long time. We organizing many events in person and online. And today, as I mentioned before, we welcome the University of Sunderland, which has two campuses in the UK. One in Sunderland and one in London. By the way, on the 4th of February, we will organize a workshop in London, and the agents who will join us, they will be invited to visit the campus of the University of Sunderland in London. We already agree with Sunderland teams that we will be there and visit the campus, so this can be a good opportunity for you as well to visit the University of Sunderland in person, which will help you as well for the recruitment process. So let me share my screen now for a second. 1 second. Let me go down from here, and here we go. So University of Sunderland, they have their own virtual campus as well on the website. As you can see, it's called sunderland.university. So I invite everyone to go on sunderland.university after this workshop, logically, and this will help you a little bit to know more about the campus, the program, etc. So I can see, I already opened myself, I already registered myself, but I will show you how to go proceed to the virtual exhibition. But now I want to welcome on board Costas. Costas, are you available?
Yes, of course I am.
Hello, Costas.
Good morning, Richard. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you. How are you, Costas? Everything okay?
I'm very well. I'm in sunny Athens at the moment in Greece, with only 22 degrees, which is great, not raining.
Okay.
Absolutely brilliant, So happy to be here and not in Sunderland. But yeah, I'm here for the weekend, for the holiday, sorry.
Yes, you're lucky. We are here in Switzerland, and now the winter is coming soon, so it's very cold at the moment. But I can see that many people are located in different parts of Europe, of CIS country, from India as well, from Africa as well. So welcome everyone today here to this presentation from the University of Sunderland. Costas, I already opened the page from Sunderland.university, and I can start and show how to move forward. And as you can see, when we go on the first step on the virtual campus,
stay
you
here
can
at the
see
moment.
Directly.
Yeah, and stay here.
Yes, I don't move.
Okay, let me take over. Don't change page. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be here. It's nice to, doing things with WEBA. Richard and I have been friends for many, many years. We're both very young, black hair, no white beard, and all of that, and we worked really well together. And Richard has always been a supporter of the University of Sunderland, and we a supporter of WEBA. This is why many years ago we decided to extend his activities from the agents conference that he greatly used to organize, very good conferences, and extend it to student recruitment as well. And I convinced him to do that, I must say so, and we were the first university to actually enroll, a few years ago, and take advantage of that. And all of you guys, And what we created with Richard here is a network like the agents conference networks that he has, the agents network, right? to create like a super agent with all of you underneath the WEBA flag. So the problem we have with agencies in the UK, in the British universities, is that you cannot easily recruit an agent that will bring you 1, 2, 3 students. Imagine that the British universities receive students from all over the world, right? And many agents, I receive every day queries from agents that want to become our agents at the University of Sunderland. And they say to me, I can recruit 1, 2, 3 students, no more than that. And for us, we're not really allowed to do that, and not only very heavy in administration ways, right? But 1, 2, 3 students is not really practical. So what we've done with Richard, we created this concept where, Richard can use his network, you guys, using a good term, of course, right? And you're all WEBA's agents, sub-agents, and WEBA is my only super agent. So I only deal with one super agent, and then you yourselves can actually do all your work through WEBA, all the applications, get help you with your visa, in different countries, all the requirements that you have. And so we both benefit, right? And then even if you do recruit one student, you still get paid, right? That's very important. In some countries, obviously, especially in Europe these days, it's very difficult to recruit students, after Brexit, after this fantastic move that the British government made, and they got out of Europe, so, we have difficulties now in recruiting many students from Europe. This is why we need you, the agents of Europe, but all the other agents. This is why my officer, Robin Griffiths, who is also here, used to be an officer for Africa, Asia. Now she's also for Europe and Canada. So we have a whole range of countries, but also, as I will explain in a second how Sunderland works, we also have field offices around the world. Let me explain how Sunderland works. The University of Sunderland has divided the world in 3 big regions. The Western region, which is America, Canada, South America, Brazil, all of that, Europe, Africa, North Africa, and the Middle East, right? That's one region, the Western region. Then we have the Central region, which is India, Pakistan, Myanmar, etc., Malaysia. And then we have the East region, which is China, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Australia, I suppose, and all of that. In every region, every region is managed by a head of region. So we have the international office. Within the international office, we have 3 heads of regions, one for the Western, one for the Central, one for the Eastern region. And then below them, we have the field offices, like myself, or field managers, directors, whatever, right? And in your case, I'm the European director. There is an African manager, there is a Middle Eastern, the Central, Hong Kong, we have offices in Hong Kong, we have offices in India, we have offices in Pakistan. So there are field people, right, on the field that can help you with your inquiries, with extra presentations for your students and all of that, which you can also do directly with us, but through WEBA, right? That's the main thing. So this is how we work. We receive students, imagine, from about 150 countries in the world. Sunderland University is based in the northeast of England, between Newcastle and Teesside, right, on the east coast. A really nice area. I've lived there since 1984, right? 27th of August, 1984. I went there as a student, stayed for many years as a lecturer. Then I took my role at the international office. And what I liked at Sunderland, I loved it, not just the city. The city is a small city of less than 500,000 people, right? It's by the sea. The center, because it's very widely spread, the center is mainly a student center of a city, right? And that's why the university has invested in 2 big campuses, the city campus, as they call it, which is on the west of the city, right? 5 minutes walk from the center, right? And the Sea River campus, which is on the north side of the river. Actually, some of you may wonder what Sunderland means, right? Many people think because there is a sun, it has to do with sun and land. and they don't know what to do with the der in the middle. It's not actually like that. It's a two elements word. Is Sunderland, separated land, right? Sunder means separated. So it's separated land because there is a river in the middle, the river Wear, right? And we have the North Sunderland, the South Sunderland, between just the river, The university has made a big investment on the north part of the river. Again, 10 minutes walk from the center and 10 minutes walk between the two campuses, right? Where we have the different faculties. Now, in terms of faculties, we used to have 5 faculties. Now we have 3 faculties. It doesn't matter. In the presentation that you will see, the one that Richard has uploaded, I still have the 5 faculties, right? Which for the moment, it's easier to understand what they are. We have definitely, though, we provide many degrees, right? And many postgraduate programs. We're one of the 10 largest universities in England with about 28,000 students, something like that. Maybe more now, maybe a bit less because many people have graduated, but we have more students coming in, but the university is actually going great. In terms of ranking, that many of you may wonder what's happening with the ranking. Again, we're doing really well on the ranking. The latest Guardian 2025 ranking list shows us as number 37, in the ranking. So we are among the best 40 universities in the UK, and exact number is 37, with many of our courses being among the first 5, among the best 10 of the UK. Like our pharmacy is number 1, our media courses, business, all of them courses are between 1 and 10, so we're doing really well. We have our own accommodation. We had a problem last year with accommodation. Some of you agents that sent our students through WEBA last year have seen some problems because we had an influx of students, and we also sold one of our big accommodations so we can invest in a big accommodation again next to the university. The precinct is called, is actually on the same street as the university. And now this year we are resolving this problem. So for 2025, you will not find problems, sending students to our accommodation. But Sunderland also has lots of private accommodation. So there's lots of halls of residence, which are private outside, and they're quite good prices as well. And houses also, many students, 3, 4 of them, not when the first year, but when the second year, final year, they go out all together, they hire a big house with 4 rooms, 5 rooms, and they stay there. It's nice. The advantage of Sunderland, and that's what I liked and I stayed for many years, as a city, is a very easy city to live in. So you can walk anywhere. It's actually easier to walk than drive because we have all these kind of single roads. Even myself, I get confused. Every year I get a ticket because the road changed and I didn't realize it had changed, so it's easier to walk. But also the university has its own bus system. So there's buses of the university running around from 8 o'clock in the morning till I think 9 o'clock at night, going around the city, around the halls of residence, around the 2 campuses, so the students can move around from campus to go to the library, to come back at night from the library, and all of that. So we are very organized university. Also, what I liked with this university, even as a student, and then I followed the lead when I was a lecturer, is that it's a very logical university. It's a very student-centered university. So if you have a problem, you're not alone, whether your problem is academic, whether your problem is psychological, whether your problem is health, right, or your problem is financial, you will always find someone to help you. We have systems, processes, and people behind everything that the student may need. Very centered university, right? And that's very good. In terms of fees, I've just sent to Richard to share with you some good news that we had last month. Our scholarships were being accepted by the executive, and now our fees, I will surprise you on that, right? Our fees are down to from 60,000 that they were this year, as from August 2025, they're down for postgraduate courses, they're down to £12,500 for international students, right? That's probably the lowest of the market. And for undergraduate students, they're down to 11,500 students, right? So it's almost a save of £5,000 per year if you do a 3 year course, like 15,000 you save out of your parent, of your students' parents' pocket, right? Almost 15,000, and that is very important for students and parents, of course. I
So
mean,
this,
I'm a parent that both my daughters. Yeah, sorry, Richard, tell me.
yeah, I think this is excellent. I mean, this is
Yeah,
very unique. So the scholarship is for every year or only for year one?
every year,
Every year. So if
every
someone
year.
doing the bachelor, they have 3 year scholarship.
Yeah.
Wow. This is only for the student who will start in September 2025, correct? Or even
As
before?
No, as from August 2025.
Okay, August 2025. Okay.
The way that the universities work is up to August of a year is the actual previous year. So our academic year runs from September to next August. So even now, if you send me a student in January, right, they are considered as recruitment of September 24, right? So as from August 25, right, which is the most important, because now we finish with September, October. Usually people don't register for January, February, but if you have any, please let us know, right? But as from August 2025, the international fees goes down postgraduate to 12,500, undergraduate to 11,500, right? And as a parent myself, my daughters just graduated, both of them from Sunderland, right? I can tell you that it's really, really important, right? Because father pays or mother pays, whatever, these days, right? But someone pays for international, even for European students. There are no student loans anymore. So someone has to give that money. So the less money you give to get the same education, the better, right? This is really important. Also
Absolutely.
for the European,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
I agree with
Now,
you.
also another advantage that we have at the University of Sunderland is that since Brexit, most of the universities, as they should have, included the European students as international, right? So they charge them international fees. We didn't do that, right? Our European students, we had increased last year for only 1,000. So instead of 9,250 up to 10,250, right? And now we decided with the new levels of home students, home fees that the government has applied, the 9,535, the new home level now, home level is what an English person would pay, is 9,535, right? So we adopted that and we're reducing our fees, again, as from August 2025, to 9,535 pounds, right? And I think we must be only 2 or 3 universities in the UK that do that. Every other university has increased their fees. We prefer to give scholarship and decrease the fees, right? Instead of increase them. We value European students. We value every student. So, it's not a matter of fees. We're not trying to be rich. It's a state university. It's not a private university. It's a state university, right? So we want to offer as much as we can for the best we can. Tell me, Richard, you have a question.
Yes, Kostas. So if I understand correctly, the bachelor is 9,535 pounds,
That's
correct?
right.
And the master?
The master I didn't mention is 10,500.
10,500. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is as well from August 2025. And this is for European students only. And
Yeah.
Europe, this include as well country like Kazakhstan. How far is Europe?
No.
This is, I need to understand.
Yeah. Europe is the EU, is the 27 countries of the EU,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Okay. No,
And
this is important to
yeah,
understand.
yeah. So let's go to the west border, Romania, Bulgaria, what's up there? Lithuania, Slovenia, Latvia, going down, not Albania, Greece, Cyprus, not Albania at the moment. Albania will become eventually, right? But not I don't see the next year or so, right? But what else? Poland, all these countries, Portugal, Spain, of course, all the 27 countries, and Switzerland, of course, Denmark, Norway, all the 27 countries plus the EEA, because Switzerland is an EEA country, right? Correct, isn't it, Richard? Yeah.
Yes, correct. It's
Yes.
correct. Yes.
And the EEA
Absolutely.
countries, yeah, they get the home fee. Yeah.
The home fee, like all the European Union,
Yeah.
including Luxembourg, correct? Including
Yeah,
Norway.
of course. Of course.
Okay. No, just to clarify, because we have some agents here, and so it's important is the 27 country part of the European Union will receive the home fee. The home fees mean the domestic fee for UK students.
Exactly, 9,535.
Yes,
right?
For the bachelor and 10,500 for the master.
For the master.
Okay, perfect. Just so this is clarified, and this is I put this information in the chat system. As you can see on Zoom, there is a chat system. I'm just writing down the most important point. But then after, when everything is finished, I will send an email to every one of you. I will do a follow-up email. I will send you a copy of the recorded workshop of today, including all the information about the tuition fee in 2025, including as well the scholarship for international students and for EU students. Okay, Kostas, it's all yours.
Maybe if I knew you were recording this, I would have shaved better, So.
No, but now, as you can see, you don't need to shave anymore because we are modern, no? We have to be elegant,
All right. Now, as Richard's screen shows some pictures, right, which you will see on that domain that Richard just gave you, Sunderland University. Let me correct. It's not a virtual campus. This is a virtual tour of the university.
Yes,
right?
Logic.
I developed back when we were enclosed at home with COVID. I had not much to do. So I sat down and created this because everything at the time was virtual. So, and it worked really well. And I found this fantastic domain name, which is everything. Sunderland.university, not .ac, .uk, .this, .that. Sunderland.university. That's it. Right? Very easy to remember. Also has been used extensively by our agents, especially mine, to see students, to show to students, right? It has been used for their training as well. It's very easy to go through and understand exactly what is happening at the university. Also, we have the main university's website, sunderland.ac.uk. Please, Richard, pass that as well on the chat. Sunderland.ac.uk, right? Which you will refer a lot because that's where all the information about our courses are, the fees of what's in that course, what do I do year 1, year 2, year 3, right? What is my assessment and all of that. Also have in mind that Sunderland has a fantastic chat system, fantastic, right? Where you can actually log on, ask to speak to someone about the course, a lecturer, another student who's studying, a graduate, right? It's an absolute, I find it to be really, really good chatting system. I mean, it's great. See, students this year, this time now, in 2024, are so lucky. They have everything. When I was doing my A-levels back in 1982, all we had to rely to choose Sunderland. I mean, I chose Sunderland, but we had to rely on a small prospectus that I waited 4 months to come by post after I wrote a letter to Sunderland, right? No emails at the time. And I wait. Now students have access to everything, right? And the most important article I read lately, and have this in mind, you may be good at it, is that 56% of the students worldwide choose their university through TikTok, right? Seriously, 56%. It was a huge research. 56% they use TikTok, for God's sakes, right? But
wow.
That's the reality we live in, and that's great. Anyway, now from the pictures that you see down there, you can see that it's a very modern university. Go down a little bit, flash a little bit. We have two, as I said, we have two campuses, one by the riverside, really big, one by the city center, really big. We have faculties of business, law, tourism, computing, arts, health sciences. Our health sciences is absolutely brilliant. Our biomedical degree is amongst the best 5 or 10 universities in the UK. Our pharmacy is number 1, as I said, right? We have biochemistry, we have drug discovery, then we have engineering, mechanical, electrical, electronics. We have art, a lot of courses in arts and design. We have media. Our media courses are also number 4, number 5 in the UK. Radio, cinema, production, anything theater. We have performing arts if you want to do. We have English language programs, English studies, language, English literature kind of programs. We have a fantastic variety of programs, undergraduate and postgraduate. I don't think your students will find any problem in choosing, right? But also, we have a fantastic support, any questions that your students may have through WEBA, they contact us. We can bring them into contact with the university. They can go through the chat. They can find out everything they need. Also, what I really like is that we have a central reception, let's call it, called the Gateway. Go to the next page, please, Richard.
Yeah, we have 2 pages here. We have Sunderland campus or London site.
Go to Sunderland campus.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, this is an actual picture of our gateway, right? Our gateway is our main reception. This is what the students will see when they walk into the main building of the university, signposted everywhere in the city, the gateway, right? And as you can see right at the back, we have people sitting right behind the screens. They're not very visible. And they can go and ask any questions, express any problems, have a problem and get a solution for it, right? That is the main reception. That's what I like. Because usually universities, when I was a student or even afterwards as a lecturer, there was no central reception. So you had to ask 10 people before you find yourself talking to probably the right person. Now you go directly to the gateway, your students can find anything they need. Click on faculties. On the left booth, as you can see, it says faculties. Click the little hand on the left. That's the one. Okay, and those is an easy, very visual way of representing the faculties, right? It's like you go to an exhibition and you have people with different booths, right? Different universities, right? Now, what I've done here, every faculty has its own booth. And every booth, let's choose business, Richard. Go to business. Business, law, and tourism. Go to business. The easiest one. Right? There's what we offer. Go down. You'll see the courses. Go to the right. Undergraduate, postgraduate. You'll see all the courses. And that connects, right? Each course that you choose from that connect directly to the website. Right? Now that we are through, if you find mistakes, give me some time for another 2 weeks. Because I said we just went down to 3 faculties, so I need to update this. But most of it, I think all of it works, right? But that will take you. Click OK any course, Richard. No, don't click. We want to stay on this one, right? And that will take you directly to the university's website, which is updated continuously, right? And you'll find correct information. If you go to the main menu on the left, Richard, on these little boxes.
Home.
Yeah, not home. Go to the next one down.
Down.
No, down. No, where is home? Below home. Go to below home.
Campus selection.
Campus selection. Go further down. Take one at a time.
City of Sunderland, our location, chat with us, contact us.
Yeah. Further. Also, you missed the question mark. Frequently asked questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. On any of those you choose, right, you will find different informations, right? Frequently asked questions, for example, what your students can ask. That's the usual typical questions I would get, right? So, as you can see, it's a small website, mainly. It's a small portal where I managed to include as much information I think you needed, right? Nothing else. Do that on your own time. Please contact me directly. Richard, please pass my email to all of them. Right? And so you can contact me for information, more information. Tell me something doesn't work. Apologize if something doesn't work. And Sunderland.University, as I said. What else is there to say? I'm not sure, Richard.
Okay, now we are back here to the business and law. We can go back a second. I want to show to them the different one. We have as well art, which is very good for the university, and health science and well-being. So as well here, when you go on the website, you always need to click, you have to click on top. As you can see, there is a thin point. So let's see education society or art and creativity industry. If it will come to the arts and creative industry subject area arts. So here as well, you will find all the undergraduate program and the postgraduate program. So I make an example now. Arts offer as well the foundation. As we all know, not every student has the possibility to enter directly for a bachelor program, so they need to do the foundation. So it's very important for you if you have some students which are very low in academic and in English, they maybe need to start to book for the foundation. So to book for the foundation is the same way like you book for the bachelor into the WEBA portal. But let's go here, foundation diploma in art. You can see, okay, because they are now renewing the website at the moment. This is now the season where everyone is renewing the website. So foundation, but I just click and we will find art with integrated foundation year. In this case, you can already see the dates for September 2025, which is the 15th of September. The fee indicated here is for home students, so it's not for international students. This is very, very important for you to know, but I will send you the fee by email for international students after we finish the workshop. So this is now just a general information for all of you. If you have a student, you can show them a video. As you can see, I will show this video second, Costas.
वापस एक और टिकट कहाँ से आएगी उस साल के लिए?
So I will not show you all the video at the moment because it's important that you know that the video are available. So this is the most important part. So when you have a student who is interested in a specific program available, and this website, Sunderland.University, will help you a lot to selling the program to your students. I would like to ask the agent to please remain on mute modality because I can see that it happened to me as well sometimes that you unmute yourself. So do not unmute. Thank you very much. So this is the standard, let's say, program website virtual, which is helping you when you give a presentation to your students in your home country. So, you know, sometimes you ask us for a PowerPoint presentation, but this virtual page is up to date quite every month. So now it's during the end of the year, so they are just renewing some of the program, but in the next couple of days, they will be up to date. And this will help you when you give a presentation to your students or directly in your office or when you have a big meeting with many students in a big screen. This always helps this website, Sunderland.University. But then, logically, we have the main website, which is Sunderland.ac.uk. As well, here you will find the up-to-date information about everything. And it's a great website. They have a lot of video insight as well. And very important for you to understand that in the UK, they have two campuses, one in Sunderland and one in London. And for the agent who joined us late, I just want to remind that on the 4th of February, we have a workshop in London. And after the workshop, we will go and visit the campus of Sunderland in London. So in case you want to join us, please contact me and I will send you the application, the registration link, so you can register yourself for the workshop in London, and this will give you an opportunity as well to visit Sunderland London campus. I personally visit the campus. It's beautiful. It's in a very nice area. It's wow, it's amazing. And logically, as Costa said before, we now have 56% of the students who check the university insight on TikTok. But we made another statistic and we asked about 200 students from around the world when they choose a destination where they want to go study, if they choose the UK, and I can tell you here that over 65% they choose in London. So
London.
now we have to understand that Sunderland is offering a scholarship for 3 years, not for 1 year only. So this is a very good selling point for you because as you know, all the students, they go shop around, okay? One day they come to your agency and tomorrow they go to another agency. And today they are informed about Sunderland, tomorrow they are informed about another university. I make an example, London now, just an example. And if you can tell them that at Sunderland in London, they will have a master, which is for international students, 12,500, and they have a scholarship for 3 years, this saves a lot of money for the parents. And I think this is a very good selling point. The same is logically for the campus in Sunderland. Logically, the living cost in Sunderland is lower than in London. So you have to understand a little bit the students that you meet in your office, if it's better to send him to London or it's better to send him to Sunderland. The great advantage, which we don't have to miss when we're talking about Sunderland, is that they have different intake, not only September. Maybe Costas, you can inform us about the intake because you have intake in January or February, in April. Can you please explain us about, you have different intake, 2-3 intake per year, while some other universities have only 1 intake per year.
No, we have at Sunderland campus, we have September, October, right? So September for undergraduate, October for postgraduate. Then we have January, February, right? Then some courses have in April. I don't have the list with me because the list changes every time. So I will find out what the list is in the next few days. I'll ask Robin. Where is Robin, by the way? Robin, can you open your camera, please? And hi, Robin. This is Robin, my European officer, right?
Hello, Robin.
Hi,
Robin. Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
I would say that Robin is my right hand, but not really. She's not. She's actually the boss. Have that in mind, right? So, and we'll find the latest list, Robin, and send it to Richard to start. Yeah, we have April start and July or August start. Especially London campus has about 4 or 6 different dates that they start every year. With different courses. Also, about London campus, last time you visited, Richard, you went to the old building. You visited 2 years ago.
Correct.
Now we have moved to a new building, right? Exactly opposite to the old one, or behind the old one, which is much bigger, much better, apparently. I haven't been yet. Yeah. So you will go and see the new building, which is apparently brilliant. But it's doing great. There are people working in it. The lecturers are just fantastic, very close to the students. Because not many students. In Sunderland, we may have 28,000 students. In London, we have about 3,500, 4,000, so it's easier, to be close to students. And it's a great environment. Also to the cost, I would easily say that the cost is London, that is this in Sunderland, And I must say, not that my daughters had the choice, but I'm still happy that they chose Sunderland to go to instead of London. Yeah. Because it's so expensive.
Logical. I mean, this is Sunderland is a student city. Let's put it like this one. This is another great point that we should always tell to the students, because the living cost in Sunderland is much lower than in London. This is
much lower. The northerners, as I think in every country, the northerners, I can say that because in Greece I'm a northerner as well, but also in every country, I think the northerners are more, how do I say, hospitable people, kinder people than the southern, especially, from a big city than London. The city, as I said, is very easy to walk. It's very economical. I won't say cheap, but it's very economical to live in. And it's by the sea as well. So the students, everybody, every day that when I'm in Sunderland, I spend it down by the sea. I'll go there for a walk. There's lots of shops to eat, to enjoy yourself, to do things, air shows once a year. It's absolutely brilliant. You have things to do. If you want more, you have theaters in Sunderland, you have cinemas, you have bowling center, You have pubs, of course. We're in England, lots of pubs, but also 40 minutes on the metro. And Sunderland, have in mind, is one of the smaller cities, as it's 500,000, who have a full metro system, right? It's fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. And it also connects you with Newcastle. So I think 40 minutes, Robin, probably by metro to
Yeah,
Newcastle.
probably even less, like around
Yeah.
35 minutes.
Yeah.
Or...
And also connects you directly to Newcastle Airport, right? Which is the main international airport that we Northerners use, right? So you can travel through London, through Manchester, through everywhere. But also, there's lots of flights directly to Newcastle. And then you come out of the plane, you get your luggage, you get into the metro, and within 55 minutes by metro, and with a cost of like 3, 4, 5 quid, pounds, I don't know, you're in Sunderland, you know. And also there is a university stop. So students usually come directly from the airport in September, October. And they stop at the university stop, they come out of the train and they get into the university, which is, again, fantastic, you know. I said, we're very central university.
I have a question. We're talking about health and science in well-being, nursing, subjection area nursing. I think this program is available only in Sunderland, not in London, or both.
No, it's also available in London.
In London as well. Okay. This was one of the questions that I received. In refer of the CAS interview, will Sunderland interview all the students, or how it is working now for 2025, Kostas? Can you generalize this, or it's difficult?
European students don't get an interview.
Okay.
Europeans are considered low risk, so their visa is easier to be issued. For example, in Greece, Cyprus, Poland, Bulgaria, we had visas issued within a day or 2-3 days. You know, it's really straightforward, right? Lithuania, France, the same. It's a low risk, so they don't get an interview. And although it's a requirement to have a bank account with the money in, right? So far, nobody has asked for that. So our European students don't go through what the international students have to do to prove the money, to have bank statements and all of that, right? So, and they definitely don't get an interview. Interviews we only do in specific courses for admission to the course. So it's an academic interview, like people who want to do pharmacy, for example, right? Obviously, they get an interview to see why they want to be a pharmacist, what are the skills, why they chose this, a few very easy questions on maths, like there is I wouldn't call it a maths test, I would call it an arithmetic test. You know, it's very basic, right? So they get a very quick interview, very friendly interview, right? It's not like, wow, you know, an interview. But so I cannot think of any other course that has an interview, Robin, unless you can think of, right? But but our case in the European students, they don't get an interview. Internationally, Robin will tell you more.
So it depends, kind of, costs I've mentioned there with the risk of the region. So we have what we call our red, amber, green rankings for our international students. I know that students who are coming from the northern states in India, they are required to do an interview for CAS Shield. And then the majority of the rest of the countries in the world are just spot checked. So, for example, a lot of the countries in sub-Saharan Africa, they get random spot check interviews every now and then. It might be the case that if, for example, the students do their CAS checks and the immigration team want to meet with the student just to get some further information, they might get asked to do that as well. But the majority of interviews are kind of spot checks, or if you're from the northern states of India, they are required at the CAS interview point. But other than that, we don't interview for the CAS process. As Kostas mentioned there, the interviews for academic aspect. So a lot of our health science courses do interview, and the teaching courses as well. So any PGCE courses, primary education, physical education leading to qualified teaching status, they all require an interview. And then for health sciences like therapy, physiotherapy, and I believe that's it. So that's kind of it from the interview perspective, from the global.
But by the university for academic purposes, right? Not for the visa.
No, yeah. So even if, for example, like an Irish student applied for nursing, they would be required to interview. That's an academic aspect. It won't be anything to do with immigration or anything like that. It's just to get to know the students and understand the background knowledge and the areas they're going into. And for those educational courses and healthcare courses, it's a requirement from the governing body as well as the faculty. So it's just to support our recruitment process and doing that. But it's no immigration checks, nothing like that.
I have some question coming in. Is there any difference of the tuition fee between London and Sunderland? No, I think it's the same.
I think it's the same, yeah.
So definitely for 25-26, it's the same.
It's
Yeah.
It's on the email that I sent you, Richard.
Yeah, I'm just, we're just live here, so people ask me some question. I just put this to you. Usually the deposit, I'm just bringing you the question that I get into. I know the answer, but, I like to bring this to you. How much is the deposit usually when someone is apply a student for European students and for non-European students? Maybe Robin or Costas?
Mm-hmm.
I have to check because it changed now that the fees have changed.
Yes.
But I know that we have up to 5 installments. So there is a deposit before the visa or, before the enrollment, right? There is one installment after the enrollment, and then it's 5 installments or 4 installments, something like that. Altogether, I think it's a deposit and 5 installments.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're looking at
I'll check.
The deposit-wise, it's £2,000 for a European student, and then it's 50% to enroll, and the remaining 50% is in 5 installments, like Costas mentioned. So, for example, if they start in September, their first installment is the second month into their course, so that will be November, and then they'll pay an installment every month after that. So by, I think it's February time, they'll all be paid off. If a student wanted to pay it all earlier, they're more than welcome to do so. And for international students, it's £3,500 for the deposit. Again, 50% to enroll, and then that 5 installment option. Again, they don't have to wait for those 5 installments. It's just personal preference on what they want to do when they're ready to pay.
For the EU, Robin, you said now with the new fees is 2,000 the installment?
Yeah, £2,000 for the deposit.
That's good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just reformulate a second, Robin, just to be correct. So the fee for the European is £3,000. The deposit for non-European is
2,000.
3,500.
For international, for non-EU, it's 3,500. For EU, it's £2,000.
It's £2,000 for European.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I correct this here. And then after the deposit, they need to pay 50% before arrival. Correct? Okay.
Yeah, and that'll include that deposit as well. So that'll contribute towards whatever they have to pay in that 50%. So it tends to just be a top-up amount to get at the 50%.
Yes. For example, if they do a master, I make an example, is 12,500 for August 2025, deducted the scholarship. They need, if it's an European, if it's an international student, then the difference is 10,500. There is an additional payment of 5,500, just to make it clear.
If it's 12,500, then the first payment is 3,500.
Yes, sorry.
Right?
Then is 9,000 is 4,000 more to pay.
4,000, and then the rest by installment.
The rest by installment. Okay, fine. This is clear. This is clear, and this is as well clear. Okay, so and for the European is 2,000, and then as well 50% of the difference to pay before arrival, and they can deduct the £2,000. So this is very clear as well. Okay.
So it will be 10,500 minus 2,000. The deposit is 8,500 divided by 50 is 4,250, and then every month 1,000 something.
Yeah.
Plus change. Yeah.
Which
I think is really good, actually. To tell you the truth, between us, all 55 of us.
I wanted to say between us.
Between us, yeah, all 55. And I was very surprised when the executive approved, the recommendation of the international office to go down to 12,500. Last month I was in an exhibition in Cyprus, and next to me was another British university. I'm not going to mention who, but a very good British university, actually, like us, probably even better in the rankings, it doesn't matter, who were selling their undergraduate degrees for 27,000, right?
I know.
Pounds.
I know.
Per year. So crazy. Another one further down the aisle was 36,000, right? Jesus Christ, how can you justify that? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Kostas, I need to ask you some more questions. I know you have another meeting coming up soon. I think this is
No,
from
I have time, don't worry. Yeah.
this is from Beatrix. I think she's from Spain, if I'm not wrong. Beatrix, sorry if I do wrong. She asked me, what is the refund policy in case a visa deny? I think that there is 100% refund policy by
100% refund policy, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the refund notice reason. So if, for example, the visa is refused due to credibility, then it'll be okay. If they are refused due to fraudulent documents, then it will not be fully refunded.
Okay.
So if, for example, we've said, yes, we've issued the cars, they've went and got the visa and they've been rejected on the status that, for example, a bank statement's fraudulent, they will withhold a percentage of the deposit. But that is in the policy of the refunds as well. So it's all explained in there. Everything else will be fine for a full refund. But if it is fraudulent documents, then it'll be holding some of the deposit with the university.
That's right. But just to highlight that in Europe, we never had so far, since the visa system was introduced, we never had a visa refusal so far, because the documentation that the students have to provide, the whole process, it's so, let's say, easy, right? It's so mild that there is no point in providing anything fraudulent, unless, I don't know, you're number one wanted on the FBI list, and you apply as a student. Okay, if they find out, then you won't get your refund. But if you're not and you're a normal student, that will be okay. Also, since we're speaking to Beatrix from Spain, have in mind that we have already, there is an H&D type of qualification in Spain. We call it Europass, and it's a 2-year vocational qualification, which we have approved already the business part of it. And this year we had a small number of students who did the 2 years course in Spain, right, of that national vocational qualification, right? And then they came directly into our top-up in Sunderland, our final year, right? And that's another route I'm going to speak in a second, actually, because I forgot before. But especially from Spain, they came directly to the top-up. In the next few days, I'm waiting for confirmation for other courses, like computing as well, because apparently we had lots of inquiries from students who do this qualification in Spain, and they want to transfer just for 1 year. And this is fantastic. I mean, we have this throughout Europe from different. I'm on the process now of organizing one with Germany as well. From colleges there, they offer this type of H&D, the German type of high national diploma, 2 years vocational course. We go through a process called articulation. So we examine what they have studied against what we have been teaching for the first 2-3 years. And then we say, okay, you're eligible to go to the final year. And then the students that wanted to study in the UK but couldn't afford the 3 years, what they can do, they can stay home for 2 years, do the national home qualification, staying probably even at home with their parents, saving money, have a part-time job, making some money, and then come to the UK for 1 year, right, at reduced fees, fantastic, right, and get the bachelor degrees, and then maybe go for a master's back to their own country, or stay in the UK to do with us or with another university that has logical fees, right? Because also the fees are crazy sometimes with masters in the UK, not ours. But for Spain, please, Beatrix, have that in mind. We can talk about it more, and as soon as I get confirmation in the next 2-3 days about that qualification, I will let you know.
Yeah. I have some more questions, I think, which are very important now as we're talking about this. First of all, some students as well from Europe, or not from Europe anyway, as well international students, they are not eligible to entry directly to the master. So you offer the foundation for master or the pre-master, how we call it, depend, every university call this in a different way.
In some of our courses, we have a pre-masters, right, which is 18 months.
The 18 months.
I'm not sure. 18 months, yeah. Robin, CEG, they do a pre-masters as well?
Yeah, so we have the extended route in some business courses, which is the 18-month course as well. So you'll do the starting couple of weeks with CEG and then do the normal program with Sunderland campus for the university side of things.
So, for example, when the master starts in October, they can start early, like in June, Robin, if I'm correct, or in June, July for, is this
Yeah, so
correct?
we have 2 intakes a year, and it's usually June and I believe it's either October or it's February. I'll have to clarify on that. We have 2 intakes for that. And that is quite a popular course with it being only 2 intakes and
Yes.
having that foundation part at the beginning embedded in the program. So yeah, there's 2 intakes for that available.
Robin, now Sunderland, now have a difficult question. Sunderland is offering the scholarship for the master and undergraduate. Now, let's presume we have an international student who want to do a master, but he need to do the foundation before. I'm talking about October 2025. He will need to start the foundation in June 2025. Will he be eligible to get the scholarship of or not?
Yeah. So the courses, there's a couple of exemptions of courses that are classed as our premium courses, some of them being like the MBA and the OzPAP. So they might not get the full 4,500, but they'll still get between 2,000 and 3,500 pounds off. So they'll still be eligible for the fee and the scholarship if they do the foundation route and entry as well.
Okay. But there will be a higher cost for foundation and master together, because it's 18 months.
The course fee is higher to cover both of those.
Yeah, how much you have the fee for this program as well for 2025?
I have a double check and I'll just grab that now.
Yeah. In the meantime, that Robin is double check, Kostas, I come back to you. I want to know, I know this question, but just maybe you tell me, what is the gap for undergraduate and what is the gap for postgraduate?
The gap? What do you mean
Yes.
the gap?
The year that they usually for bachelor, we say 1 or 2 years gap from when they finish the high school and starting the bachelor. So if someone is 25 years, he cannot start a bachelor, I presume. So he must be around 20
For
years.
a bachelor, you need to finish high school, 17 and a half, 18 years old.
Okay.
And then start your bachelor. I don't think there is a gap, especially in Europe.
No,
There is a gap.
No, I understand. But sometimes maybe some students, after they finish the high school, for any reason, they maybe decide to work or decide to do other, I don't know, maybe they have a personal problem or maybe they move house, whatever. It's possible to have to start 1 year later or 2 years later?
5 years later, it doesn't matter, 10 years later.
Okay, this is what I want to know.
3 years ago, I registered a Polish lady,
Yes.
right, who was 39 years old, right,
Okay.
or 40. Maybe she was hiding a year or two as well, but her daughter was accepted at Sunderland. She was 18 years old, and the mother was accepted also to study at another course in Sunderland, right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, for us, it doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Whether they are 18, 19, 30, 40, anytime they want to do a course, they can do a course. It's not a problem. Undergraduate or postgraduate, it's up to them.
Okay. Thank you for this.
One thing we haven't mentioned, I forgot, is the English, right? English language requirement. Very important, obviously. They go to study in England, right? It's one of the most important requirements. Because of the visa system and everything, the most accepted one, the SELT, Standard English Language Test, is IELTS, as you all know, right? Different courses have different requirements. The most low one is 6 and no element below 5.5. Some other courses ask for 6.5. Some courses, ask for 7 and no element below 5.5. Have in mind that apart from the IELTS, right, we also have our own our own English language test, the Sunderland English language test, which is free for the students and it's online. So the students can actually sit at their home, under an environment that we provide, so they cannot move. Any move will actually be recorded by the system, so the student cannot go and Google, right, and all of that, and they cannot cheat, but they can do it from home at the day that can be organized. So if anyone has a student that wants to see the test, immediately they send us the details. I pass these details to the department that's responsible for that. Imagine last Friday we had a test very quickly organized for Wednesday. That was the gap, right? And the results came out yesterday, and she passed. So we can do that quickly, organized way, and cheap, or not cheap, sorry, free to the students.
But
right?
this is well for foundation or only for master?
For all the courses.
For all the course, foundation, bachelor, and master and MBA, for all.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
okay.
the courses.
Okay.
And if any of the agents have in mind, because we do that as well, can put a group together, right? So say they recruited 15, 20 students, and they all need to sit for a test, right? What we can do is we can fly a member of team, right, to your country, whether it's in India, whether it's in China, if it's in Australia, I'll tell you from now, I will go. Right?
I will come with you. I will come with you.
You'll come with me. We both speak very good English, right? So, in Africa, I suppose we can fly someone there to do the bulk test altogether, right?
Okay.
So have that in mind.
This is very, very good.
But
Okay.
I will also go back to what I said to Beatrice in general, that we don't only accept the standard rules like foundation, first year undergraduate, masters. We also accept students from transfers. So let's say you have a student studying at another university, a local university in your own country, or at a student that you sent last year, I don't know, to another British university, to Derby, for example, or to Manchester, and they didn't like it there, they didn't like the city, or they found a boyfriend or a girlfriend who studied at Sunderland, and now they're going to move to Sunderland on the second year. We can do that, right? So we accept for first year, for second year, direct entrance, right? After we examine what they have studied in the first year, of course, and on the top up, the final year. Top up and final year is the same, right? So on the website, have in mind that some courses don't mention a top up. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Top up is just the final year. We can accept on all our final years, we can accept students. Like in all our second year, we just go and look what they have done, we articulate what they have studied, right? And then we can move them, right? That's fine. To the same course, of course, because I get some silly inquiries that someone will study performing arts and now they're going to move to second year biomedical. That doesn't work, right? Obviously. Yeah.
So one more questions I had to clarify the point. Some of the agents ask me about the English language requirement for postgraduate and undergraduate. And okay, or they have a test which is accredited by the UKVI. This is a very important point. Or they can do the test at the University of Sunderland, which is free of charge for everything, foundation, bachelor, and master.
Online and accredited by the UKVI.
Bear in mind, some nationalities will get charged for the English test, so it's free for majority of regions. But I know there are a handful of regions that might take a charge, but the charge will then go towards the deposit. So although they're getting charged for the test, it then goes towards the fees. So just to bear in mind when you're speaking to students, they will be asked in certain regions to pay for that, but it will then go towards the fees once they've passed and things.
Okay.
That's why I told you Robin is the boss.
Yes.
She knows it.
I've covered much of the world to know all the international things. So
I'm concentrating.
Europe.
My advantage is I concentrate in Europe, where everything is easy. Europe is easy. It's very easy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Robin, you said that in some region the English test is a cost. Can you maybe let me know how much is the cost? And maybe can you give me, for example, for India and Africa?
Yeah. So I know for Africa there isn't a fee for it. But I think off the top of my head, and I can check with colleagues just now, I believe that our Indian applicants and our Pakistan applicants get a charge for it. I don't know what that is, but I can ask for it now.
Okay.
But the rest of the world isn't a charge. And the majority of time they'll do a lot of kind of events in country where they might be able to do it face to face and get a response straight away. But yeah, I'll get that confirmation of how much they charge in regions. I believe it's just Pakistan and India that charges, but I'll confirm that now for you.
Yeah. One question. So we're talking about Africa. We're talking about Nigeria in this case. Nigeria, is an official country where the main language is English. So in this case, Robin, they don't need to provide an English certificate, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So for anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa, they're still required to provide some evidence of English language. It depends on the course on what that can be. So like Costas mentioned, that test we've got, we can accept a WIAC if it's within 5 years of being issued. However, some courses do require an IELTS. So courses that are backed by governing bodies, the ones that I'd mentioned for interview pretty much. So the teaching courses and the NHS courses, they require an IELTS, as that's the governing body requirement, not just ours. But as for other courses, so for example, I'll pick something random. If they were doing a music course, they could accept the WIAC. If they were doing a postgraduate degree and they were taught in English at an undergraduate level, we can accept a letter of instruction from their previous institution explaining that they were taught in English at an undergraduate level. But they would need to provide some sort of evidence for that.
Okay. Are there some restriction in regarding of India, students from India? Are there some restrictions, some area like Punjab, Gujarat, Haryana?
So we don't kind of have any restrictions on where we recruit in India. We have different approaches to just protect the license, because obviously some regions are more risk than others. So like I mentioned, we have that compliance CAS interview stage with the northern regions. But we don't kind of say no to anywhere. We are pretty flexible. We'll assess applications when they come in, and then if they meet the entry criteria, then we'll progress with them as normal. So there's nowhere kind of that we say no to in any regions.
Okay, fantastic. Skill for English test is accepted now by UKVI and is accepted as well by Sunderland.
I am not 100% sure on that one. It's the first I've heard, but I can ask that question as well and get back to you on that one.
Fantastic. Because there are some country which are, sorry, some university who now accept skill for English because skill for English is now recognized by the UKVI, and so this was one of the questions that I had.
We can get the latest CELT from UKVI,
okay.
the standard English language test, the approved language test, and send it to you. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. I think we cover all the questions now.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Fantastic. Let's see if we have one more question. Yes. Is there any pre-master course in March, April intake for LLM? Robin?
LLM, we don't have any pre-master's course, I don't think, through the foundation program. The CEG intakes usually run twice a year. And that's usually September intake and a January intake. So if you're looking for the foundation route, it tends to be only the 2 intakes.
Yes.
There might be a rare occasion, like we mentioned, those extended courses where that'll be embedded in the program. But as a standard, we only have the 2 intakes. And I don't think we have anything for LLM for like a foundation access into the masters. Because I think the recommendation at that point would be to do the undergraduate.
Yeah. Will pre-master run parallel to the study?
So the pre-masters, if you're discussing the extended route, they do the foundation part first and then step into the main part. So it kind of is the pre-study before they do the main program, but it's still part of the whole program.
Okay, it's still part of the whole program. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you very much. I hope I have answered the question of Prasanna and Karati. So, Kostas, thank you very much. Thank you very much to you as well for all your help, Robin. I think you helped me a lot. You helped Kostas a lot, and you're very important for us know more about Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Robin, when you have a minute, maybe today or tomorrow, if you can send me an email and tell me which area they need to pay and how much
Yeah,
is
of
it.
course. I'll
So
send that across as soon as I've got that information.
yeah, so I can send a follow-up email to everyone.
Yeah.
So I want to say to all the agents who join us today, thank you very much to join us. I will send a
Thank you as
copy.
well. Thank you very much.
I will send a copy of the recorded presentation, and I will send an email with all the detail, entry requirement, where to book, the scholarship, everything what we talked today. I will make an email and explain one more time, so you have everything in written. I will wait some answer from Robin, and when I have everything ready later today or later on Monday, you will receive this. Costas, as usual, excellent presentation.
Thank
Very
you.
nice to see you. And
Good session, good attendance. We
yeah,
started with 55.
yeah,
I can see we still have about 40, which is
yes,
great after an hour and
yeah,
20 minutes. So it's fantastic. I really hope, guys and ladies, that you're going to work for us and read through Richard and recruit as many students as possible. One thing we love in Sunderland is students. During the summer, when the students go back to their own country, Sunderland is empty in the center. You don't see all this. I mean, it has people, but students provide the youth of the area. So it's absolutely great. I love it when they're all around. It's absolutely brilliant. So send us as many as you can.
yes. And the great part, what Costa said from the beginning was that you students starting from August 2025 will receive scholarship for 3 years if they do a bachelor. So every year they
Exactly.
receive a scholarship, and this is quite unique. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much again,
Thank you
Costas,
very much.
Robin.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, good
Hope to see
health.
you in another 5 minutes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yes.
Bye bye. Bye
Bye,
bye.
See you guys. See you.
Bye bye.